Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest edition of the CR7 Podcast. The RTGAC is back in today, coming to you live from what used to be during the summer. We had this during the summer, the home streams, I guess you should say, or the home podcast, you could call it. But yeah, we're doing it a bit differently this time. Cole's not on the small little iPad in front of me. He is instead on the screen, which is what I'm sure the people like to see. But yeah, we've had a bit of busy schedules. Cole had his first varsity pitching start yesterday. We got the win, and obviously a big win today as well, this time over Conwell Egan. So yeah, we'll get into the breakdown in just a second. But Cole, say what's up to the people.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, like Ryan said, I just did have a game, so kind of lost my voice a little bit. So, excuse me if my voice cuts out a little bit here throughout the podcast. But like Ryan said, 2-0 this week. So I am very, very happy. And yeah, I mean, let's get into some Phillies. Sixers, we didn't want to recap them because, they stink. They did beat the Wizards, though, unfortunately. Yeah, that's all I really got. And then Friday should be easy, Ryan. You got anything special coming up or no?
I mean, we do have the broadcast on Saturday. What do you call it? We have Springfield Delco. But yeah, we will not be traveling to New York, unfortunately. But yeah, as Cole did mention, though, getting into the podcast sort of things, there really isn't anything to break down when it comes to the Sixers. So, it would just be a bunch of nothing we'd be saying, and we probably would move on within 30 seconds. So, yeah, we'll be breaking down the Phillies. I know I said we weren't going to start until the season's officially over, but what the hell do you really want us to say? I mean, there's nothing really to talk about. But, yeah, we'll be breaking down the Phillies, and then we'll get into some NFL draft stuff. We've obviously had the week off last week because of the schedules and all that. But, yeah, we'll be getting into the number one overall pick, who we think that should be. Now, it does depend on who we think it should be and who we think it actually will be. Cole will be talking about the March Madness Final Four, obviously. UConn won for the women's, and it was Florida, who won for the men's. So, yeah, Cole will be breaking down that. And then in the NBA, Michael Malone has been fired from the Denver Nuggets. We'll be talking about that. And then, yeah, Cole will be talking about Jacob deGrom. And he had his first start just recently. I think it was
some others.
So yeah, he'll be talking about that. We'll get into Ryan's rants, and then we'll wrap things up for today's episode. But Cole, the Philadelphia Phillies currently playing right now, down 1-0 in the top of the second against the Atlanta Braves. But so far they are tied 1-1 in that series. But yeah, talk about this team. We really haven't been able, really from the beginning of the season, I guess you should say, because we haven't really broken them down yet.
Yeah, I mean, this team, yeah, let's just start at the beginning. Washington get a big win there to open up the season in 10. Big comeback win. I mean, you look at guys like, Schwarber and Turner and that top of the lineup usually. But, I mean, everyone here got it done. We did strike out a lot to Mackenzie Gore, so I will give him credit for that. Yeah, Harper, their part. And then the bottom of the order, especially in the 10th inning, Bohm with a double, Romuto with a triple, just getting guys on and getting them in. That's the bottom line, especially for this Washington series. Then you come out the second game, Luzardo, his debut, he does absolutely phenomenal. He had 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 11 Ks, and 11 Ks through 5 innings is absolutely absurd. And then, you got Rojas infield single, Stott home run. Schwarber has been on fire. I will definitely give him credit. And, Marshall 3-run shot. So, I mean, at the beginning we were doing well, hitting the ball out of the ballpark, but I think now we're settling into our midseason form soon here. You sweep the Rockies, which is what I expected, especially with, Wheeler on the mound for that second game. I thought they had a really good chance. And then Walker surprised us, Ryan. I mean, coming into this game and just this season as a whole, but he's actually given something to be happy about. I mean, 6 innings, no earned runs, 4 Ks. He only walked 1 guy. he kind of has the same stuff as last year. So I don't know if it's a mental thing or a confidence thing, but I mean, he's looked great the past 2 times he's been out, and even in that Atlanta game, he looked solid as well. Which he pitched on Tuesday, I believe.
So I
No,
don't remember.
Wheeler was on Tuesday. I think it was yesterday he pitched. Yeah, it
I
was
don't
yesterday.
even know.
And he
I don't
went
remember.
scoreless through 4 2/3 with 5 strikeouts. Now the walks could be a problem. 3 walks, and he was 95 through not even 5. So pitch count is one thing I worry about, especially with a guy like him, who struggles when he gets in the later innings and up in the pitch count. So that's one thing to keep an eye on. Let's talk about this Dodgers series, man. I mean, you beat the Dodgers, hottest team in baseball, undefeated going into that game. Lazardo deals and one. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I don't think anyone saw him coming out this good, especially even against the Dodgers. He went 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 8 Ks. Again, strikeout machine, and I think he pairs our rotation because now we have 2 lefties. You obviously have Ranger coming back eventually, but for now, still have 2 lefties. So, and I like him because he's different than Christopher Sanchez because Sanchez has the velo and the changeup, and Zardo, he throws a little bit slower, but he's very effective with his off speed as well. So, and then you dropped out one the Saturday game, and that's something I don't have a problem with. They're a good team, and Nola, he's been solid, but that first game was pretty bad. I'll give him that. 6 innings, 3 earned runs, 2 Ks. I mean, he just didn't have enough put away stuff, really, in my opinion. 7 hits. They really rallied together pretty much. And then, when 2 of them are out of the ballpark, what are you going to do about it? So I don't have an issue. The bullpen actually has been incredible for us, other than Romano, who struggled a little bit. But I really like what I've been seeing from Phillies as a whole. And even this last Dodgers series, or that last Dodgers game, you go down 2-0 quick. You respond, and then you go up 6-2 on a catchy grand slam, and then they slowly begin to climb back. But then you rally in the 7th, you get the lead back, and the bullpen shuts them down for the most part. Again, Christopher Sanchez, really good put away stuff, but again, when he starts, like he beats himself. When he misses changeups over the plate, that's a bad thing. And here he didn't even like most of these pitches. I mean, he's just making mistakes on, and their hitters are capitalizing, especially Teoscar Hernandez, 2 home runs in the game, a double as well. That's with a double. So just those type of stuff. Letting up bigger hits with guys on. I think he could be better on that. Like that, I guess aspect of the game. But other than that, I mean, we hand them their only losses of the season. I'm proud of it. Then this Atlanta game. Last night was great. Turner with a home run late. His first of the year. That was really, really good. Shout out Edmundo Sosa. Hitting great, and he had the home run in the first Atlanta game. Now, it's unfortunate that we lost this game, but we got to give the Braves credit. They did. They made a comeback here. We were up 5-3, and then they stringed together some runs in the 6th, 7th, and 8th. So you have to give them credit there, and they haven't been hitting well all year. So, again, you have to tip your cap. And, they got Wheeler. They got to Wheeler, and that's something you also, once again, I'm sorry for being repetitive, but you have to tip your cap because that's our race, and you don't see him get hit very well at all, throughout the course of the year. So props to them, but we got him again in the second game, and I'm excited to see what happens in the rest of this game. Like Ryan said, still 1-0, so middle of second, so we still got some time to come back. But Lazardo, really only I haven't been watching it, so I shouldn't even comment on it. Brian, you got anything?
I mean, you hit it right on the nose when it came to like pretty much just like the game recaps. But overall, that's kind of what I want to go over. Overall, this team has been really, really good. You mentioned Walt, obviously. Wheeler's been pretty decent to start. Nola's been, I don't really know. I mean, it's just like his
He's been
off
hit or
speeds.
miss. Again, he doesn't
Yeah,
have
I
that
mean,
away stuff. Like
Yeah,
he's
his off
usually like,
speed stuff. It seems to be
yeah.
struggling as well. Like I don't know, his pitches just don't seem to be
Mhm.
landing right. Like it just I don't know, it just doesn't seem to be going right so far for him. Hopefully he can pick it up. I expect him to. But yeah, Wheeler's been good as always. We're hoping Ranger comes back better than ever. But I mean, the guys that have been surprising us coming into the year. And Christopher Sanchez, I think he has actually been really good as well. What do you call it? I don't even know what his ERA is at the current moment in time, but
It's
um,
3 something.
yeah, I mean, so he's been solid. But Walker and Lazardo. I mean, I didn't think Lazardo was going to be anything coming into the year. I remember my preview video of the season that I did on this channel. I was like, Lazardo is just kind of like a filler. Like he's not going to really be anything. He's going to be that fifth starter. And he's a guy. He's our bullpen guy. But I mean, it doesn't even look like he's going to be the bullpen guy. It looks like he might be able to go 6, 7 innings depending on how many pitches he throws. And that's something that we do have to take into consideration because obviously Cole throughout the summer, you were talking about how the pitchers are doing great, this, that, or the other, and I kept mentioning they're throwing 90 pitches in 6 innings. That's just not good. So hopefully, we're able to keep the pitch count down this year. But regardless, Lazardo, I mean, he's been great. We're hoping that Ranger Suarez can come back quickly. But right now, I mean, the Phillies have just been great. The amount of runs that they've been scoring as well, the hitting. Cole, you mentioned the first game. Things just seem to pick up, and like in the 10th inning, I remember watching that game at the spring sneak peek, which was really fun. But yeah, I mean, they were really able to figure it out then, and it seems like they get this really sudden burst of energy. I mean, I don't really know what the deal is there, but they're hitting the bats well. My only problem at the current moment in time is Alec Boehm. I don't really know what's going on. He wasn't trade rumors in the offseason. I wasn't too keen on trading him, but maybe I should have just shut up about that because of the fact that he's currently right now batting 178, and our team batting average is what, a 265, I believe, something around there. So
Yeah, we're
um,
really good batting wise, actually. Like
right,
top
right,
of the league.
yeah. Castellanos is batting 308, and even Schwarber's batting average is
Yeah.
293. I mean, that has been unheard of in the last couple of seasons for Schwarber. Harper has 12 hits on the year, so the batting's been really, really good. They're just finding their pitches, I guess. I mean, there's not really another way to describe it. But Bohm's got to figure it out here, man. I know he likes to chase out of the zone. That's some analysis I could have on him. But you just got to figure it out. You got to lock it in because everybody's batting really, really well. The only guy that's not really batting that, the two guys really that are batting that great are Kepler and Real Muto. But to be honest, I don't expect much out of Kepler, and I'd like to see Real Muto's batting average go up at least 10 to 20. Marsh not batting that great as well, but I mean he's more of a defensive guy. Sosa, I mean he's been absolutely incredible. It is a shame that he can't play his normal position, which is shortstop, because obviously Trey Turner's there and we're paying him the amount of money that Jesus would make if he was on earth. Happy to see him in the outfield. Obviously, Rojas, I don't think he has that many at bats. Yeah, he has 9 at bats. But 5 hits. I mean, I can't knock it at all. Hopefully he can come in there as a rotation piece. We obviously know what he can do defensively. But hitting wise, I think we're doing great. Pitching wise, Nola's just got to be a bit better, and we can be right back where we were last year. But once again, I think the team tired out last year, especially the pitching. And that's just something that what's his face, Rob Thompson, has to be mindful of going into the summer days, if you will.
Yeah, and that's why pitch count is, I'm already worried about it. First, second week into the season, so just being able to keep an eye on those guys, especially Wheeler, especially Nola. Long season ahead of us. Don't want anyone getting injured or something like that. And then also Painter. You have an opportunity to bring him up at some point through the year, if someone goes down to the IL or whatnot. So, and honestly, I don't hate Walker out of the bullpen or something, or Painter out of the bullpen. So, I mean, you have options here because Walker's been playing well. Lazardo's been playing well. You have Painter to call up at some point. And, you have other guys, including Nola Sanchez, Ranger when he gets back, and then Wheeler. So I'm really excited about this pitching staff, and obviously pitching is my forte. So
Right.
I'll be on the lookout for that type of stuff.
I
And
do
then
feel like, though.
shout out Nick Abel, who had a
Yeah,
great debut in Double A or Triple A, I believe.
whatever it
So
was.
and he had a pretty down year last year. So if he can get back on track, he could make an appearance this year as well. What were you gonna say, Ryan?
I do feel like that eventually Walker, and I don't know about Luzardo, but it's possible. Like they might fizzle out. This could just be like a one-hit wonder sort of thing. So maybe bringing up Painter throughout, I don't know, July or wherever, depending on where we are in the standings, would probably be the best option because I don't know, based off last season for both of these guys, I just don't, I don't know if I don't, right, even though they've played good, I don't know if I have the confidence that they will maintain this so far. I mean, if they've continued to play well, then
And it's good that you have
maybe.
another guy like that to go to. But here's the thing: I like Luzardo a lot, and like I haven't been able to talk about it enough on the show yet. But I really like him. What he did in 2023, I think that they could bring that back, especially because of the other guys in the locker room. Christopher Sanchez, Ranger Suarez, both really, really good lefties in this league. Now, granted, Sanchez throws 98, but I mean, Ranger, he can learn a lot from Ranger because he has a very similar game to him, especially off speed wise, especially, just working around the hitter, keeping him off balance. But I mean, he had 200 strikeouts in 2023, so he is not a bad player at all. He just had a down year in 2024 with some injuries. So I think he's battling back, and I really think we can kind of craft him in this sort of crafty lefty kind of guy who, comes in and, eats up guys and gets out. So I really like this because I think he's a very, very similar profile to Ranger Suarez.
Yeah. Well, we'll move on here. I think that's enough said for now. We'll continue with our Phillies analysis as the weeks go on. We honestly might have to have another stream on YouTube next week because I don't know. I don't know if Tuesday is the. I don't know what's going on with Tuesday, but might be having a WSJP meeting then. But nonetheless, let's move on here. Let's move on to March Madness as Florida was able to take down Houston in the championship. A big comeback for Florida in that game. Not a lot of people. Not a lot of people going into the season picked Florida. A lot of us picked Duke and stuff like that. Obviously picked Duke.
No one had Florida, man.
Yeah, and Florida wins. UConn, another team that is always in it, but obviously with Juju Watkins in South Carolina, we didn't expect them. Well, I did expect them to get to the championship. I did have them losing to South Carolina though. But yeah, Paige Becker's getting it done. And UConn wins. Gino, I can't say his last name. I should be disgraced because it's Italian. But yeah, he has 15 championship rings now in women's college basketball. So hats off to him. But yeah, Cole, let's talk about the men's and women's tournament, Final Four, and all that.
And remind me of your picks for each one of these.
I had Duke with my Final Four for both.
Final Four, or just give me your champion for both.
My champions were Duke and South Carolina.
My champions were Houston and UConn.
Okay.
So yeah, I really needed a Houston win, man. I would have won a bunch of pools, but regardless, I will start with the women's. Oh my gosh, UConn against UCLA here. They held them to 22 in the first half, and UCLA, man, they were just not ready at all. And UConn, Sarah Strong, 22 points, 8 rebounds. El Alfie, 8 rebounds as well. Paige Becker, 16 points. Fudd, 19 points. And Fudd, honestly, I think was their best player this final, both the final and the semifinal matchup. So I mean, I love what they did, and they really ran the table, especially just coming out of that bracket. A lot of people had USC and Juju Watkins, she goes down in whatever, it's the second round or whatever. So, I mean, unfortunate for her, but I mean, Paige Beckers and UConn were just too unbeatable, man. And they have great coaching, and you love to see UConn and South Carolina in the final. I think that's what everyone wanted to see. Dawn Staley as well. I mean, just two great coaches and really good history in each program. But yeah, I mean, UCLA did not play well enough. They didn't shoot well enough either. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much I can say other than Lauren Betts getting 26 points. There were really no one else scored for UCLA. But they did do a better job scoring in the second half. They had 29 points, but yeah, I mean, overall, it just wasn't even close to enough. They got beat by like 35. So yeah, I mean, UConn just steamrolled them there, and then Texas, South Carolina. Now Texas was, honestly in this game for a very, very long time until the third quarter. They only scored 9 points in the third quarter and then 13 in the fourth, and they really just lost. They beat themselves in the second half. I thought they were in this game, and mentally they just kind of dropped out around the finish line. And South Carolina, they always got that that second, I guess that second gear that they can go into. So I mean, that's really something that we're looking for, and that champions need to have it mentally going into the game. So I mean, yeah, that's what really did it for them. They kind of beat themselves. And then the championship, UConn, they take this one by 20 plus. So, I mean, this wasn't even really close. I think the defense for UConn really stepped up this tournament. Again, holding South Carolina to 26 in the first half. And then, they didn't even get 20 points in a single quarter. So, and Sarah Strong, she really needs to be highlighted. 24 points and 15 rebounds in the championship. And Fudd with 24 as well. I mean, they played absolutely out of their mind, scoring the ball. And Paige Becker's facilitator, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. The mental leader, the captain of that team. So, I mean, props to them and props to the coaching for UConn. Just outplayed South Carolina for the entire game. If you have anything you want to say, do it now for the women's.
Well, before I do that, Kyle Schwarber with a solo home run to tie at 1-1. Just an update there.
Puts
for the
in the
women's,
top 5, right?
What is it?
In homers, puts them in the top. What is it? It was 5th.
I don't know. I think it's 6 actually.
Wow, that he's tied for first then.
Yeah. But yeah, the women's. I mean, first thing, I feel like Texas is in it like every year, but then they just never win. Like, I kind of feel bad. Same thing with UCLA. Like, they're a team that are just always in it, but just can't ever find a way to win. But nonetheless,
they have a good team here, though. They have like the number 1 recruit coming there. So
right. But I mean, when you're looking at teams like UConn, obviously Paige Beckers is just absolutely dominant. And I was ashamed that Juju Watkins tore her ACL. Because obviously that would have been a great matchup. We honestly could have had a different outcome if Juju Watkins was in there because of the fact that, USC was keeping it close with UConn and Juju wasn't even in there. So, just to think of what she could have possibly done if she was in there. But anyway, I mean, you're looking at South Carolina, Dawn Staley, people like that. I mean, I am very surprised that UConn did get the win. But Paige Beckers, man, she is just something else. And she spreads the floor well. She could shoot. She can really do everything. Gets to the rim and all that. So she is just she's something. I no doubt that she will. I know she's coming back next year, but there's no doubt that she probably will be the number 1 pick in a few years in the WNBA. So you got to give her credit where credit is due. I'm very happy to see what she's doing, and good for UConn. I mean, I know their coach is somewhere around in the area. I think like in Jersey, maybe. I don't really know. Gino, whatever his name is, Dawn Staley from North Philly. So you'll have to say it for both coaches. But I know they were having a debate on ESPN if Gino was the best coach in American sports history. Definitely the best women's college coach of all time. But I don't know. The best coach in American sports history is tough.
I
It's a
mean,
tough debate.
honestly, you might have to give it to him, man.
12
15,
ring, 15. 15. I thought it was 12.
might be 12. I don't know.
Whatever it is, it's still
Let me check it
more.
real quick.
All right, fact check me. But yeah, I mean, regardless of what it is, I mean that's still an incredible amount of championships. And you can't really diminish that in any way because he definitely deserved them, um, in every way, shape, or form. But how many rings
Yeah,
does it equate?
12.
12, yeah. So yeah, 12 rings. I mean,
And
that's
9
just something.
undefeated conference seasons.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. There's been a lot of great coaches out there, but he obviously had Red back and for the Celtics, and I don't know. There'll probably not be a better college coach, I guess you should say, in men's and women's history. Um, I know Coach K's probably up there, Jay Wright, Rick Pitino, Hurley, but I don't know. Dawn Staley throw in there as well. I don't know. But anyway, let's move on to the men's.
All right. Start with Houston Duke. I mean, dude, this game was incredible. Houston went down, I want to say, 13
Yeah, something
points
like
with 8 minutes to go, and then they were down 7 with a minute to go. So I don't even know how they came back. And then, Cooper Flag with a chance to take the lead there, left it a little bit short, and that was it for Duke. But I mean, overall, this was a really interesting game. I thought Cooper Flag played his part. Everyone's saying he lost them the game. I mean, no, he didn't. He kept them in the game, man. 27 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. He was the heart and soul of this lineup. And keep in mind, he did get taken out of the game in that ACC semifinal or whatever. So you gotta give him credit for what he's done for them this season. And people saying that he's not going to go to the draft and come back to Duke, just stop. Just stop, man. I mean, he's not going back to Duke. That'd be the dumbest decision ever. And obviously he's making a lot of NIL, but he can make just as much with all the deals that he's going to get after he gets drafted as well. So there's no point in him going back, especially with the Boozer twins coming in. And then Houston, they were phenomenal in this game. LJ Cryer, he was their best player for the entire tournament. Shout out Jawan Roberts. Put Kaman Malaluk on lockdown. He had, 2 points on 1 of 2 from the field. 0 rebounds. 7-2, he got 0 rebounds. And Jawan Roberts is 6'8", 11 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. So, honestly, he might have been the player of the game, keeping the big man out of it. And just overall, just shutting down Duke holding them from an offensive standpoint. Only got them to 67 points, and really kept them in check pretty much for the most part, especially Con Kneppel and obviously Cooper Flag's going to get his points, but just limiting the damage from him. Like I said, going into this tournament, Houston, the reason they're going to win games is because of their defense. They have one of the best defenses in the league, in all of college basketball. And then they also shoot 40% from 3. So that's why I had them winning it all. But unfortunately, they couldn't get it done, as we saw. And then I'll move on to the Florida Auburn game. This was really, really close for me. I believe I took Florida here. But I mean, Auburn, they were doing great in the first half. They were even up a bunch too against the Gators at one point. But Walter Clayton, man, he is just too good. 34 points, followed by Elijah Martin, with 17. So, I mean, honestly, you got to give Florida credit. They really got it done on offense. 80 points against this Auburn squad is, no joke. I will say one thing. They did kind of expose Todd Pettiford a little bit defensively here. And I'm not sure how well he's going to do or where he's going to get drafted, but I don't know. I'm thinking maybe second round. I do think he's good because he's young and he's got a lot of raw shooting talent, but defensively is not there for sure. Chaz Bigger Mazzara, he's also very, very good. And then Janai Broom, obviously, or in my opinion, NCAA Player of the Year. Um, but I mean, whatever. Florida gets it done here, and then they also get it done in the championship, and come from behind again. National Alex Condon, he did a great job as well, along with Walter Clayton and Richard. Now, Walter Clayton, a lot of people were counting him out. He had 11, 5, and 7 assists. He was still getting it done, getting those assists out. But then when the clutch came, he knocked down a bunch of big-time shots, including a couple of threes. LJ Cryer, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. He was, like I said, best player on the floor for Houston. Costly mistakes from Houston late in the game. They honestly did what Duke did to them, just some rough turnovers. And I mean, LJ Cryer taking a reverse layup into the big guy. You just got to slow the game down. And I think Sampson, I mean, I don't know if he should have used his timeout earlier or what, but just got to slow the game down, especially when you're up at that point in the game. But it is what it is, and Florida takes this one home, and good for him, man. Ryan?
Before I get into mine, Ranger Suarez and his rehab start with Clearwater. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit given up, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts, and 33 pitches, which he had 24 strikes. So a good start for him as I continue to update with Phillies news as we go along. But nonetheless, I'm really going to talk about the championship here. The Final Four was it was something. I mean, obviously, I could talk a little bit about Duke and Houston. I don't know.
One of the Final Fours we've had. I will say that
it was, and it is a bit of a coincidence that I don't think many people are bringing up. The last time the Final Four was in San Antonio was in 2008, and all 4 number 1 seeds were in it then. So, and obviously, it's in San Antonio this year. It was in San Antonio this year, and all the 4 number 1 seeds were in it. So, next time the Final Four is in San Antonio. I guess everybody should
put your bets for the number 1s.
Yeah, put your bets on the number 1s to be there. But anyway, Duke and Houston. I mean, I guess I got to talk about that game. Auburn and Florida didn't really catch my eye that much. But yeah, I mean, I think Cole is completely correct. Flag really wasn't the reason they lost that game. Now he did miss that shot at the end, and it's not going to obviously hurt his draft stock. But I think in the cons section of where obviously his draft profile is going to be, his clutch factor is going to be in there. I mean, he did have a few attempts over the course of the season to make go-ahead or game-winning shots, and he missed all 3 of them. So, that is something that we have to take into consideration there. But, I mean, he can do everything on the floor and also great defensively as well. So, there's no doubt that he would be the number 1 pick. I mean, Cole, even, you talk him staying at Duke wouldn't make much sense. I mean, the money-wise, it would. He's making a lot of NIL money. He's probably making more than what is being reported at the end of the day. I mean, his contract money won't be as high as NIL money would be. I agree, though, with you. The sponsors and all that probably would get him a lot of money there as well. But, I mean, is that really worth ruining your career? And well, not ruining your career, but hurting the first few years of your career and going to the Washington Wizards? Or a team like that. I mean, Cade Cunningham went to the Pistons, and it's only been this year. It's been, 5 years or so since, he's been in the league, or however many years it is, and he's just finally ascending and just to becoming a playoff team, not even a championship level contender. So I feel like that's something that you have to take into consideration there. But I do think he will go to the NBA regardless of, the things that I just said. But anyway, that was obviously a great game. I'm very surprised that Duke lost. They obviously had a great team around them, lots of draft talent. But I mean, I guess they just gassed out at the end. You saw Flag's shot at the end was short. I guess that's just a level of exhaustion that they did have. Defensively, I thought their switches were not good, their slides and stuff like that. I think it was just a level of exhaustion. Houston obviously got the adrenaline rush through them. They were able to dominate there. But yeah, Duke was missing late in the end. I know Flag did have an and 1 down the stretch, but it really didn't seem to help Duke in any way, shape, or form. But that foul call at the end was pretty stupid. That was definitely not a foul on Cooper Flag. So we could be talking about a different outcome if that call was not made. But at the end of the day, Duke definitely should have held on, and there's no reason that they shouldn't have held on. So you have to take that into consideration there. And then the championship, give props to Florida. I mean, Walter Clayton, he was pretty cold. I think it was like down the stretch, right when Florida was starting to come back, he was like 1 for 6, 1 for 7 from three. That obviously is not where you want to be in a championship game. But give credit to Florida. I mean, once again, just the adrenaline rush and taste of your own medicine to Houston. They just started missing shots down the stretch. Turnovers as well. There were a few that were costly. Florida was just really great defensively, great recovery defense, and were able to prevent open shots that on a normal day would be open for Houston. And just great defense in the end as well. Obviously, didn't even give a shot attempt, I guess I should say. So yeah, just a great job by Florida, and I figured it out down the stretch, and there's not really much you can do if you're Houston. I mean, Florida just played better. They just played a lot better defensively in the last few minutes. So what are you gonna do? But anyway, yeah, let's move on. If there's nothing else to be said, let's move on to the NFL draft, where it is kicking off in just about 2 weeks, something around there. Just under, I don't know, 12 days, maybe to 15 days. I don't know, whatever. It's kicking off soon, and we got to be talking about our number one prospect. Obviously, the Titans with the number one overall pick, but will they take the number one prospect that I have in the draft? My number one prospect is Abdul Carter, edge rusher out of Penn State. I mean, if you're looking at Abdul Carter, what can't this guy do? I mean, he is quick off the line of scrimmage. Tackles obviously have a hard time getting out of their stance when he's lining up against them. His explosion off the line is just incredible. Yeah, and if hopefully for offensive linemen, the foot injury that will not require surgery, reports say, will slow him down a little bit to start his career. But I mean, he can go on the in and the outside. His swim move is really good, especially on the inside. That is a killer for offensive tackles. But I mean, once again, his speed, it's hard to get set against him, which is your biggest problem. But I mean, now he's a proverbial edge rusher. He's not a linebacker anymore. He doesn't play in coverage anymore, which I think is the best idea. I believe in his whatever. I don't even know. What is he, like a junior now or senior now, whatever it is. Year before this last season, I think you guys get what I'm saying. He would come from the off-ball spot and come to rush, and his speed was just absolutely incredible. And he would come in after 5 seconds, 6 seconds after the ball was snapped, and still be able to make a play. So that's just a testament of how big his speed is. And also, he can deal with the run as well. I mean, once again, it's really just the speed from him. Obviously, you have guys like Micah Parsons, who's a good comparison, but he has a lot of power to him. Not to say that Carter doesn't have a lot of power, because he definitely does, but he uses his speed a lot to get around tackles and get on the inside. Once again, great moves, great hands off the edge. It even can swim move on the inside. That's something you got to take into consideration as well if you're an offensive tackle. But yeah, he can get in the run. Hopefully he goes to a team that has a good interior line so he can, get tackles in the backfield and wrap the runner up. He also tackles the right way. I hate ankle diving. Cole knows that. I hate ankle diving when it comes to tackling. He wraps up well. And yeah, I mean, he is the number one overall prospect. My number two would probably be Travis Hunter. Just because of his versatility, he can play the corner and the receiver spot. One of the best route runners I've seen in a long time. Obviously, he plants his foot in the ground, has a great release off the line of scrimmage. His release is really the biggest thing. It's all about how you start and how you finish. And him and McMillan, who I really like as well, I think is probably up there in my top 10 of prospects. I don't know, I haven't made a full list yet, but they start and they finish really, really well. But yeah, Hunter's got the speed. He could play corner as well. I mean, they're saying he might play corner in the NFL. I don't know. I feel like when it comes to the money, you probably would rather play receiver because receivers get more money than corners. You see what Justin Jefferson's making, $35 million. Jamar Chase, whatever he's making. But yeah, Travis Hunter's got to be up there. Genty as well. I don't know. Cam Ward, there's obviously a lot to say when it comes to him. we don't know how he's going to turn out. But for now, well, not for now, for the rest of eternity, or until the draft, I guess I should say, Abdul Carter is my number one prospect heading into the draft. Now, that doesn't mean I think the Titans will take him. I think it would be the best idea for them to take him because if I were the Titans, I would try and tank for Arch Manning next year. But who's to say that you will be the worst team next year? I mean, you're going to have teams like the Giants, the Browns once again. The Jaguars are probably going to be really bad. There are going to be a lot of teams tanking for Arch Manning next season, and who's to say you will get that number one pick? So, it's a decision that the Titans are going to have to make, and I don't know. I wouldn't take Shedeur Sanders first overall. Everybody knows my thoughts about him. I think he stat pads. I think he takes. I do think he takes some stacks. If he knows that it's going to be an incompletion, his completion percentage is very, very high. Completion percentage is very, very high. I do think that is because he takes sacks and tries to run with the ball, tries to keep the play alive, which is just something that I just don't like in the NFL. It obviously creates turnovers and unnecessary hits. So yeah, I wouldn't take him first overall. I think he will be a decent quarterback just because of his size and his ability to run with the football, which is something you need in today's NFL. He's got the size and the ability to run like a guy like Mahomes, a prime Carson Wentz. So yeah, but once again, Abdul Carter, my number one prospect at the current moment in time. Nothing that he can't do, and his speed is really, really something that I would take into consideration if I were the Browns and Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think he's the best overall player in this draft. This is kind of similar to Jalen Carter in 2021 or whatever, but obviously none of the incentives or whatever off the field. But either way, I think he's going to end up, looking back on this draft, going to be one of the best players, or the best player in this draft. I will say the Titans, they're going to end up taking Cam Ward. I just can't see my way out of it. They canceled their private workout with Shedeur Sanders. And, there's really not another way it can go because they need a quarterback. And, they're not going to make any money if they keep Will Levis just because he's just not marketable. And a guy like Cam Ward definitely is. Like you said, you don't know your odds with Arch Manning and trying to tank for him. But I'm not really sure where else they would go. And I don't think they're going to go Travis Hunter either, unfortunately. But, I don't know. So I will take – I do know. It's going to be Ward of the Titans. But I do agree with your take that Carter's the best overall in the draft.
We'll probably get into it next week. But my number one prospect for the Philadelphia Eagles is Mikael Williams out of Georgia. This is somebody. If you can have him on the other side of Nolan Smith, now I know the Bulldogs defense, would just come full circle. But if he can fall to the Eagles, there is no guy I'd rather have. Obviously, I'd rather have Abdul Carter, but he's not going to be there. But if Mikael Williams falls, I would love to take him. His rushing ability on the inside is great. Could you imagine him and Nolan Smith on the outside, both on inside tackle blitzes? That would just be a nightmare for quarterbacks. And then you got Jalen Carter swinging around off the edge. There would be no better scenario I would rather have for the Philadelphia Eagles defense going into next season than that right there. That would put opposing quarterbacks in a big problem, no matter who it is. But yeah, that's my number one prospect. We'll probably go over the Eagles draft next week. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Mikael Williams. 6'5", 260. Something else. Anyway.
We'll say one thing.
Yeah.
Here's what I have. I have them trading up with the Vikings to get Mikael Williams from Georgia. I think they're going to send third rounder and a fifth rounder to the Vikings. And the Vikings only have 4 picks in this draft, so they need more draft capital. And we need a guy like Williams to fill that edge slot, especially with the absence of Sweat. He could definitely get some more reps. And as well as Nolan Smith. He's been looking great, especially in that playoff run. But if we don't end up trading up, I don't think he'll fall that far. So my guy, Darius Alexander from Toledo.
Oh boy,
I
not in the
know you don't
first
like him
round,
taking
Cole.
Toledo and
Not
back
in
to
the
back.
first round. Not in the first
I
round.
think so.
Where does he fit though? Like,
D tackle. I mean, we lost Milton Williams.
I mean, I like Ojimo. I'm a big Ojimo guy.
Yeah. I mean, everyone likes Ojimo. But I know you don't like Jordan Davis.
Yeah, but my thought process is of how we could use him with like Milton Williams, like we have both Ojimo and Davis switch, and then we have Carter fill in of the or like help with the flaws that Ojimo would have and Jordan Davis. That's why I don't. That's why I don't really like the Patriots giving Milton Williams like the amount of money that they did because I do think that his flaws were hidden behind Jalen Carter.
Mm,
But I don't know.
good.
We'll see. Well, I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm just not big on these small schools. In the first, especially in the first round.
And Jan
Um,
Mitchell.
I
You were
mean,
down on
yeah.
him last year. You were
How
down
many
on
to?
him last year, and guess what he did?
Yeah, but I
Second in
was
rookie of
fine.
the year.
But I also was fine with it after we took Dejin. So I mean, originally I didn't really want him, but well, actually I didn't want him at all. To be fair, um, but I mean, yeah, he worked out, and I'm very happy about it. I mean, it's not like I didn't want him to play well. I wanted him to be the best corner in the NFL, and he's probably a top tier at the current moment in time. But yeah, I mean, I actually do. I actually really do like your trade with the Vikings. We have a lot of draft capital. They need draft capital. It does make sense. I completely agree
Mm-hmm.
with what's their pick. I don't even know, 20 something.
24.
That's actually not bad. I do like that. I do like that a
You
lot.
like what I'm putting to get you? Are you picking up what I'm putting down, Ryan?
Yes. But yeah, I mean, we also are going to get a lot of comp picks next year, so we have a lot of picks going into the future. So we can definitely use some of that in this draft to try and get somebody like Mikael Williams, who I think is absolutely worth it. Just got to figure out how to get Bryce Huff off the books. But we'll talk more about that next week on the CR7 podcast. Let's get into a little bit of basketball. We'll move over to baseball, and then we'll get into Ryan's rants and wrap things up. So the Denver Nuggets firing head coach Michael Malone 4 games before the end of the season. Also, they fired their general manager. I don't remember his name, so I'm not even going to say it. Cole will probably pull it up for me just to save me there. But yeah, with the Denver Nuggets, I mean, I'm not a fan. I think the general manager should have been fired. He
Calvin
wanted
Booth.
Booth.
Calvin Booth.
Yeah, Booth. Right now, I watched the whole video on this yesterday. I think he should have been gone last season. If you're looking at what the Denver Nuggets did with their money and the salary cap, they lost. They lost Bruce Brown. I mean, that's a given. They just couldn't afford him. I thought that they could have brought somebody back like Jeff Green. But their problem is that they tried to re-sign all these guys that were like young, and Booth even came out and said it that they were going to build within their own like they're going to build with the guys they drafted. And it really didn't make that much sense because obviously Christian Braun or Braun, however you say his name, is really good. But he was a depth piece. Like, I know we didn't have the podcast back in the finals, Cole, when the Nuggets played the Heat, but I went on here on this channel and I said that this guy's played really, really well, and it's really role players that make a difference when it comes to the playoffs, especially in those home games. And he was really able to
Bruce
show
Brown.
out. Right, Brown as well, and they couldn't afford him. I mean, I'm not blaming them for losing him because he obviously was going to get a big payday. But now Braun or Braun, whatever, is moved into the starting lineup, and your depth is shot. And then you obviously lost Kadavius Caldwell Pope, and you said you couldn't afford him. Well, you signed this Zeke Naji, who was not even special before you gave him a contract and is nothing better after you gave him the contract. 4 years, $32 million. I think they also gave another guy a contract, Wilson, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Peyton Wilson, they gave him a nice payday as well. They're giving these guys big money that is just not working out. They signed Reggie Jackson to a 2-year, $10 million contract, and they had to give up draft capital just to get his contract off the books. So this general manager, Calvin Booth, really had absolutely no clue what he was doing. And he just, for some reason, just let the team go that his predecessor, the guy who went to the Minnesota Timberwolves, their general manager right now, he just let that team go, the team that won the championship. And I'm not blaming him for losing Bruce Brown, but you lost Caldwell Pope, and now you have to move Bond in the starting lineup. Now I wouldn't be opposed to that because I think he deserves it, and he deserves that opportunity to play and maybe earn a contract. But then you got to have somebody to replace him. I don't want to go back to the Eagles here because Rob's talking about basketball right now. But, when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, they obviously lost Milton Williams and, they lost a bunch of guys. Paul is, I don't know. I guess we'll come back in a second. But, they lost a bunch of guys, but they also have guys that can replace the guys that we lost in free agency. The Denver Nuggets never had that, and that's the biggest problem. So, yeah, that was their problem. I think that Booth should have been fired. No reason why that shouldn't have happened. That should have happened last season. Cole is gone, so we'll see if he can join back. Maybe I'll get a text in a second here, but nonetheless, we'll move on. I do want to talk about Michael Malone really quick. Cole is back. Let me just. You good?
All right, I'm good.
All right. So anyway, with Michael Malone, I think that I don't agree with Malone being fired. I mean, the guy led you to a championship just a few years ago. I feel like owners and the majority owners or whatever, even the minority owners, are way too quick to fire these head coaches. Monty Williams. Well, obviously that worked out in Detroit, but regardless, Mike Budenholzer in Milwaukee. They're head coaches now. What do you call it? Monty Williams, even in Phoenix. It seems like these owners are just way too, way too comfortable in firing these head coaches just, after one season of not winning a championship. So I don't really understand it there. But, I think Jokic had a bit of problems when it came to the defense of the team. But yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Like, the team was fourth in the West. Obviously, I don't think many people took them to win the championship this season. I have Oklahoma City coming out of the West. I know some people have the Lakers and stuff like that, but I have Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, I don't know. I guess he lost a lot. He might have just lost the locker room. I just don't know why. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, I get it's the same. It feels so similar to how Memphis fired Taylor Jenkins, like the winningest coach in the team's history. Obviously Taylor Jenkins didn't deliver a championship to Memphis. But to me, it just doesn't make sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he lost the locker room at the end of the day, and they wanted a fresh voice going into the playoffs to maybe get the guys rallied. I know Murray has been sitting out, so maybe that was just the writing on the that was the only foreshadowing we got. But I mean, I don't understand this, Cole. What do you got to say?
Yeah, I think it came down to kind of like a difference in wants between Booth and Malone. So
yeah, that wasn't the thing.
I think Booth wanted the young guys like Braun and guys like that, and obviously re-signed Peyton Watson or whatever. Malone wanted vets. I mean, he wanted Russell Westbrook, KCP,
Westbrook, yeah.
Just other guys like that. And I remember like some point in the offseason, they were arguing over Russell Westbrook or Jalen Pickett. So, I mean, yeah. Coach Malone, I think you're right. I think locker room, they kind of lost a bunch of guys. Jokic, he didn't really care that he got fired. They are slipping a little bit. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They could be in the play-in possibly. I think you're right. I don't think a lot of people are taking them to win this year. I also have OKC. I think their defense is way too good, but I mean, overall, I just think it's a friction between Malone and Booth, which initiated it, and then kind of Malone slipping in the locker room was also a bigger piece to that as well. So, I mean, yeah, that's what I got on it.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they did really anything to improve the shooting loss of KCP, and guys like Jeff Green, Bruce Brown, etc. Yeah, Russell Westbrook. I mean, it's probably been his best season in a couple of years. But even that, this doesn't really mean anything, to be honest with you. Um, so I mean, yeah. Once again, with or without Malone, I don't think they're winning the championship. I mean, if they find a way to go far, good for them. Once again, I don't see them being Oklahoma City. Uh, I know their team is kind of designed to take down the Lakers, but the Lakers just seem hot right now, and I don't know you could do anything about them. I mean, I think their ceiling is probably the Western Conference semis because I think it's inevitable that we will see Oklahoma City and Los Angeles Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, but that is yet to be seen, and we'll see how it all pans out. But getting in back into the MLB, a couple of starters have, I guess starters of the past, I guess you should say, if that's what this segment is about. Um,
Yeah.
Kind of having a good few starts. Jacob DeGrom highlighted his first start, had 5 innings pitched, only 2 hits given up, no runs, and 6 strikeouts. So not the greatest start a couple of days ago against Tampa Bay, but a good start against Boston. So Cole, what do we got to say about the blast from the past? I guess you should say.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was kind of like he's the most excited guy I had going in this year. Um, I wrote this segment, I guess you could say, um, a week and a half ago when I thought we were gonna have the next episode. So I do have 2 other guys that I want to highlight in this, and maybe I'll start my own little Cole's pitching session where I highlight guys that I think have had a great game. But I really want to focus on this Boston game because this was a big game back for him. Just really getting confidence back as well. Only 2 hits, like Ryan said. 2 walks. He had no walks against Tampa Bay, by the way. And then 6 strikeouts. And, I mean, the changeup was just filthy, man. He really has gotten a lot of control and, action on that thing, especially over the offseason. So I do want to give him a lot of credit for that. And then, I guess I'll go into this Tampa Bay game. I think one thing was, him going a little bit further. He almost went 6. Kind of sort of started to fall apart later towards the end. I mean, Lowe hit a bomb, and then that 6th inning was really the only spot where they did a bunch of damage. But he's really strong in the starting innings, so I think that's something you really want to, just take that as the positive, and then you can run with it. Strikeouts were down, only 3, but I mean, what are you going to do? He is coming back from second Tommy John, so you can't put too much pressure. And it's only the second start of the year, so again, you can't put too much pressure on it. Second guy I want to highlight, Hunter Green, man. He has been just phenomenal. 1-1, 7th in the league in ERA, 5th in strikeouts, 4th in WHIP, and almost had a complete game Monday night against the Giants. But I'll start with the first game. Thursday in March against the Giants, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 8 Ks. So, I mean, he's really done a great job in the strikeout department, really just putting away guys. And I think that just really has to do with that fastball, and he plays everything off of that. I think he dominates hitters with that fastball. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what his go-to and his best pitch is. And then he goes Wednesday against Texas, 7 innings, 1 run, and 8 Ks. This was just a phenomenal game in general, just getting outs. And him going into 7th was a big deal, 94 pitches as well. So just ramping him up for that one. And he got the loss, man. I mean, just to put salt in the wound. Dude gives up 1 earned run through 7 innings, gets the loss. So yeah, that is something you have to worry about with the Reds. He's not going to have a ton of wins and success, even though he only lets up 1 to 2 runs a game. But anyways, and then I want to focus on this game against the Giants on Monday night. They get the 2-0 W. 8 2/3 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 7 Ks, and 18 fly balls. I mean, dude, he was just getting guys to pop out left and right. And, again, to go along with the strikeout stuff, I mean, he's not really a ground ball pitcher. He's had 11 ground balls so far. He's really played into the fly balls very, very well, actually. So I think that's something he needs to continue to play into. And he's only let up 1 home run all year. So that, again, is something you like to see. Guys getting weak contact to the outfield. So I really like what he's been doing. And, we need to keep an eye on him for AL Cy Young. Final guy I want to highlight is Cole Reagans, man. I mean, he is just gross. You want to talk about put away stuff? He's probably one of the best in the game. Rough loss to Cleveland. I think it was their opener, actually, their home opener. Lost 7-4 in the 10th. He kind of got banged up here, I'm not even going to lie. 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. He didn't have a good starting game. So, I mean, it's going to happen. You're going to have some off days. But then he bounced back against Milwaukee. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 10 Ks. He really has that, especially these last 2 games that he's pitched, Milwaukee and Minnesota, 21 combined Ks through 11 innings. I mean, that's just absurd. He had 33 outs and 21 of them were to the strikeout. Again, he plays, unlike Hunter Green, even though he does have similar strikeout stuff because he plays off the fastball, I think his breaking pitches are a lot better than Green. But, I mean, he just gets weak contact, man, and it's not even really close. He's let up 1 home run on the year as well. He limits the contact, limits the damage, and is sitting at a 2.8 ERA right now at the current moment in time, and 4th in the league in strikeouts. He only had 3 in his first game. So I really like what he's been doing. Those are my 2 front runners right now for AL MVP, and then Jacob deGrom to throw him in there just because.
I gotcha. I mean, yeah, I would like to highlight DeGrom since he was on the sheet that we have. But I mean, you got to give him credit. I mean, he's coming back as you mentioned 2 Tommy John surgeries. That's obviously no joke. We know how serious those can be for especially pitchers. So yeah, I mean, a good start. Obviously, not a great game against Tampa Bay, but I mean, he's got to do this consistently. The guy's 36 years old. There's not. I mean, he's got a ring. I mean, it's just a shame his career's been plagued by injuries, and he's got to be able to keep it up. I mean, I don't really think he will. I think it is inevitable before he does get injured. It's just he's 36 years old. I'm not wishing it on him. He's older. He's got his arm's not probably held up too well. It's obvious that it doesn't. I don't know if he'll be able to consistently do what he did. He had the good start, but then a couple days later, he just didn't look as good.
And again, against the Rays, I think it was just left him in the game too long. He can't continue to go into the. He can't go into the 6th right now.
Yeah, no. He's also thrown 100-something pitches and just over. What is it? That's 155, I believe, if I'm doing the math right, in 2 starts. So it's also Texas's fault for leaving him out there for that long, Cole, as you just mentioned. But I mean, not hoping that he does bad or anything. Obviously, I don't have anything against the Rangers, but I just don't think that this will continue. So we'll see. We will have to see. But anyway, before we wrap things up here today, let's get into Ryan's rants. And yeah, Cole, give me the first topic.
Watson using the haters.
All right, Deshaun Watson. I mean, what are we doing here? You using the haters to motivate you. How about the $230 million guaranteed. How about let's use that to motivate you to get back in onto the football field. I mean, not going to play next season. When are you going to play? I mean, we don't even know. The Browns might have their next quarterback and the quarterback after by the time by the time you come back from injury. Let's not use the haters. Let's use the money that you're getting paid. If I was the Browns owner, I'd be punching the air right now and maybe breaking a couple desks as well in the office if I heard that, because that is just nonsensical in my opinion.
Lazard taking a pay cut with the Jets.
I mean, what is it with me and money for this segment? I mean, holy moly, Lazard. First off, you're playing for the Jets. How about you try and get as much money as you can? Because if you're playing for the New York Jets, I mean, I don't really know what to tell you. It just seems like you're honestly crazy. That's why Aaron Rodgers decided to go there in the first place. But Alan Lazard, why would you're playing for the New York Jets. You have absolutely no role on the team. Obviously didn't have a role last year. Well, you had a bit of a role, but now that Aaron Rodgers is gone, I don't know why they're holding on to him. They have Wilson. They're probably going to get some other receivers. I don't think Lazard's in the plans for the future. I don't know why he would take a pay cut to stay with the Jets. Maybe it's because other teams don't want him. That's a shame because a few years ago he looked really good on the Packers. But of course the Jets got to ruin his career. I mean, the classic Jets, man. But I mean, if your agent was honest with you and told you could probably get something just the same as your pay cut with the Jets, just the same, in another place, I would have went there, in a heartbeat. I wouldn't have even told my landlord I was leaving the apartment. But anyway, let's do
do they still have Devontae Adams or no?
Nah, he is cut and he is on the Rams. Yeah. So let's give it the last segment or the last topic.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Last topic.
Whatever.
All right, give me the last topic. I think Cole's.
Oh, I'm back.
All right, there we go. Give me the last topic.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
How did Duke lose?
I mean, we mentioned this earlier, but how in God's name do you lose that game? I mean, your defense was fine throughout the entire game, and then all of a sudden, you just collapse. I mean, I don't really know what happened. You're out. You got 3 draft prospects on your team, and you still find a way to lose that game. I mean, I just can't believe it. Duke should have cruised their way to a national championship for all I'm concerned. Like in Houston, I mean, how many draft prospects are on Houston? I mean, this is honestly ridiculous. But it is what it is. Now, listen, I hate Duke with all my heart and soul. I'm happy that they lost, but they shouldn't have lost that game. And then it was a final touches on a terrible, terrible March Madness bracket. But anyway, if that's everything, we'll end the show. Cole, anything to say?
I got nothing, Ryan.
Alrighty, we will probably be back on here next week, just because Tuesday, which is what we're back on Tuesdays on the afternoons, which is what we had last year, in our freshman year. We were planning to go back onto there, but it doesn't look like we will be there next week. So yeah, we'll probably be joining you guys from the Easter break. Cole.
Committed to the grind, TBD.
Committed to the grind. Who knows
we got
anymore?
People who we want to get on, but not sure when the next episode's coming.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's a while. A lot of stuff, a lot of plans going on. Obviously, broadcasting for me, Cole. Obviously, in the middle of the baseball season, it's a grind. It's a grind from the both of us, but we're still here. We're still committed to the grind, at least for this, if you could say. But yeah, that'll do it for the latest edition of the CR7 Podcast, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you later. Peace.